What's going on, everyone? So Los Angeles Lakers have secured the NBA Cup group that they are in with the win over the Los Angeles Clippers. So that means the Lakers now will advance into the not the next round, knockout round, right? All that stuff as they pursue trying to go win another in-season cup. Remember, the Lakers won the first ever in-season cup. And then, Milwaukee ended up winning last year. Darvin Ham won back-to-back. That was like a big conversation and thing. Look, Jackson Hayes and others have said like, hey, we want to win it. Right? Jackson Hayes talked about, hey, the money, we get like whatever, 500,000 or whatever. We get 54K, I think, just for advancing to this spot. Right? He's like, all I see are the dollar signs. And really, that's what it's about, right? It's like LeBron, Luka, like those guys, like, the super duper stars, that 500,000 is just going to taxes, right? Like that's basically what it is. They're just going to their agent or whatever, right? Like, but guys like Jackson Hayes and, the young guy dude, Thero, Bronny James, like guys like that, right? Like all these, Jake LaRavia, all these guys, that's what it's about, right? That 500,000, I mean, that's, half of their salary, right? Like, that's huge for them. So, you look at this situation where it's like, hey, they get an absolute bag. Like it really helps kind of, incentivize those young guys. And then, if you're LeBron and guys like that, you want to kind of do it for them. I mean, even when LeBron and AD and them won the in-season cup, like they even talked about, right? Like we're doing this for the team. We're doing this for the guys that aren't making $40 million a year, right? And look, I'm all for the Lakers winning the in-season tournament if they can. Why not? Go win both, right? At some point, somebody's going to win the in-season tournament and the NBA Finals. Lakers won the first ever in-season tournament. Why not be the first team to win the in-season tournament and the NBA Finals? That would be beautiful. But, right, as much as I'd love to win the in-season tournament, as much as I think it would, like, the last of the JJ naysayers, right? Been a big JJ guy. I was screaming to go hire JJ, right? Getting all the videos on the various channels and stuff like that. I like JJ. Lakers are also like 94, almost 95% when they're like 57-4 when leading after three quarters. JJ has been fantastic. Point is, JJ's been great. But a lot of people are like, well, Darvin Ham won an in-season tournament. Like, stop. You really think Darvin Ham is a better coach than JJ Redick? Also, go look at that in-season tournament, right? Go look at how they won that game. Like, it wasn't his crafty coaching. He literally just put LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the block, and Indiana had no answer. And those two just picked Indiana apart. It literally was just like, hey, give the ball to our two best players to get out the way, right? It wasn't some crafty, like, oh man, he really coached that game up, right? It was just, kid, hey, let's just put our two best players that are dominant on the inside against a team that can't match up against them. Like, that's basically what it was. But look, Darvin Ham won it again, right? Credit Darvin Ham. Again, it's not a slight at Darvin Ham. He did win it, right? But that is kind of one of the things where it's like, hey, well, JJ hasn't won an in-season tournament. He hasn't gone to a conference finals yet. Like, he played coached one season. Let's give him a chance. But it would be nice for him to get that kind of now what are you going to say, right? Like type thing. And then kind of just get it for the young guys and all that stuff. But we saw when the Lakers won the in-season tournament, saw Milwaukee last year, right? Like these teams kind of fall off a cliff a little bit. I mean, even Indiana after the in-season tournament, they went like both Lakers and Indiana, I think, went on like extensive losing streaks. They went on like a 5-game losing streak or whatever because you're playing extra games and that means extra minutes and all that stuff, right? Like, so again, it's one of those things where it's like, do you really want to push yourself to try to go win that, get that done? Yes, if you did, that's great, right? It's another accolade. But particularly for the Lakers, I mean, we're about winning championships, right? We're about Larry O'Brien's. We're not about in-season tournament cup wins. Now, I do, and I've said this from the beginning, like when that was announced, if that becomes a thing, which I do think it is, the players seem bought in, all of that, there will be a point where those are very important, right? There will be a point where, like whatever, we'll just say Luka and SGA, right? Just using them as an example, right? It might be 5 years from now. It might be 10 years from now. It might be 20 years from now. But at some point, people are going to go, oh, well, Luka has, 3 NBA championships, but he has 5 in-season tournament cup wins. So he has 5 cup wins and 3 NBA finals wins, right? Well, SGA he has 4 NBA championships, Larry O'Brien wins, but he only has 1 cup win, right? And people will, you'll have that kind of be a thing, right? It's just like all NBA and MVPs and, all these different awards and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of awards that are even modern that we use for like Jordan and LeBron debates, stuff like that. Like, 10 years before Jordan, like that wasn't a thing. Like some of those stats, some of those, accomplishments, some of those accolades, but we look at those things now, right? Defensive Player of the Year awards and all the scoring titles and all that stuff weren't necessarily things from the inception, right? So, this is something that I do think will progress. Even Western Conference, the Magic Johnson Award, the Larry Bird Award, stuff like that. Like even those are all going to be things, right? So like, I do think that, winning these is good if you can, but I don't think it's good at the cost of a Larry O'Brien. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, Lakers aren't good enough to win a Larry O'Brien. I disagree. I think they absolutely can. Do I think that they need trades and moves and stuff like that? Sure. Like there's a couple things that I think this Lakers team could need, particularly athleticism out on the perimeter, some two-way play. But even is anyone going to be shocked if the Lakers win the NBA championship? Right? You got LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, right? Like DeAndre Ayton. Right? Like this team is very good. Marcus Smart. You got a bunch of guys that have experience, that have been there, done that, but are still also young enough to, have an impact and play a role and stuff. Like Lakers have been one of the best teams in all of basketball this year. JJ Redick has been an excellent coach. All of it. I would love to win the in-season tournament. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want it to be at the detriment of this team. Now, it is very possible that the Lakers could win it and they'll be fine, right? And they're just back into business as usual, right? One, JJ Redick isn't Darvin Ham. JJ Redick isn't going to be like, he's going to be, hey guys, like that's great, that's cute, glad we got that. No, we have one prize, right? Let's celebrate the moment type thing. Sure, cool, okay, but no, keep your eye on the prize. Don't slip back. And, LeBron and the Lakers as a whole and stuff like that, they know what happened. We won the in-season tournament, and then we just went into the trench after that. So, winning the in-season tournament would be great, but things need to stay in perspective. Right? You don't want to win the in-season tournament at the detriment of this team to where now we lost our sights on it, or the role guys feel like, hey, we did it, right? We got a bag, right? They're backing up the Brinks truck for us. Look at this trophy. We got the goggles. We're popping champagne, do it all. Again, I want to, those are great to have. I'd love to have another in-season tournament banner, right? Like all of that. But we play for Larry O'Brien. Right. And that's where I don't want to lose the perspective. I don't want to lose the goal there. But if LeBron and JJ and guys, if they can kind of keep things focused, obviously, look, you still have several games you have to win if you're actually going to win it. So we're not like, it's not like we're in the finals yet, like about ready to win this thing. And look, the Lakers, you can't be like, oh, well, lose the next, the knockout round, lose on purpose type thing. Like these guys, if they're going to go out there and play, they're going to try to win it, right? And so even the whole, I don't want them to win it at the detriment of the Larry O'Brien. That's not something that I think is even necessarily controllable, right? Granted, JJ and them could just be like, all right, we're just going to sit LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves and, the rest of the tournament, and just because we don't really care, we want to win the Larry O'Brien. Sure, but realistically, they're not going to do that. Secondly, those guys are not going to want to do that. Thirdly, right, that's not really fair to the rest of the team. So Lakers, if they can win it, they're going to win it, right? If they, the matchups the rest of the way, all that stuff, they're able to continue to win the in-season tournament cup games, right? Do all that, and then go and pull out, the cup trophy and then have that celebration and get all that stuff again. They're going to do it, which again is great. We saw that year. Now, again, you could argue very different team, very different year, right? Anthony Davis, LeBron James, D'Lo, you had guys that, we have very different, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, even this Austin Reeves, right? Jake Laurie, you have guys, JJ Redick as a coach. JJ Redick is much more kind of militant in a lot of ways, right? Much more abrasive. Where Darvin Ham's like, we did it, guys, great job. He's celebrating like he just won the Larry O'Brien, which I understand. I get it. He's a coach. It was a second year. So it's just kind of like, again, I'm not against them celebrating it. I'm not against the hype, but I do think JJ will do a much better job of keeping them, not letting them get too high on this in-season tournament, right? Like, hey, we won it. Great. Take the day, take the moment, celebrate it, right? Embrace it. I love it, right? But we need to get back to work, right? We need, like, this is just one of two we're trying to get this season, and number 2 is the harder, bigger, more important one, right? So, stay focused, don't lose that vision. This is just, hey, this is just, a reward for your hard work thus far, but don't take this as like, hey, job's finished, because job's not finished. So I trust JJ in that regard. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.